Hello, my name is Jordan Thomas. This is Unmasked Athletes. Who I'm talking to?
Dillyn Blakey, linebacker from Alabama State.
That's awesome, man. I'm so excited to have you on. Kind of like tell me a little bit about who you are. Where you're from, and a little bit about your background as well.
How y'all doing? My name is Dillyn Blakey. I'm the linebacker at Alabama State University. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Specifically the South Side, Fairburn. Um, I grew up at on the South Side of Fairburn. Went to Creekside High School all 4 years. Um, really thriving over there. Starting at the linebacker position, just growing as a player, and now we here.
That's awesome. Kind of tell me a little bit about your journey throughout your football career from where you first started.
First started at Waccamaw, playing flag football. My mom just put me out there with my older cousin. He was playing, and I just kind of I was always into things of that nature, so I kind of got into that. And then from then on, I just was like, man, I got to keep playing football. This is something I enjoy doing. So then I got older and I played for Fairburn. Went to the South Side, played for the Fairburn Flames. And then I stopped for a little while. Middle school, I went to a charter school, so we had flag football, but we didn't have recreational football and pads. So I stopped for a little bit, and then as I got back into high school, my freshman year, I got back into football at Creekside High School, where man, I thought I was gonna play receiver. Nah, coach said, nah, you ain't gonna play receiver. You go play linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of just took my shot at that, took an opportunity, and man, it's been a long time coming, bro. Like from the hard days, the hard grind in the summer, just getting my technique better. Like just retraining myself how to get that motor and how to get that mentality and mindset towards just making plays on and off the field. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. Kind of tell me a little bit about your childhood. Give me a little bit inside of that.
Um Grew up with five siblings. I'm the fourth out of five. I was born on Thanksgiving, so I'm everybody look at me like the little golden child. First kid to go to college in my family, so that's a real big achievement. Um, I'm really like the athlete of the family. I have a younger brother who goes to Langston Hughes High School. Like they literally are probably about 6 minutes away from my school. 6, 10 minutes away. They rivals, a little rival. They ain't really rivals to us, but yeah, they like to call themselves rivals to us. And he kind of looks after me, just because I've been into football all my life. Everybody looking at me like the kid to, go do it. So um yeah, I'm the fourth child. It's an older sister named Chelsea. And then my older brother, and then a younger sister, and then yeah.
That's awesome. How was it growing up with all your siblings and everything? How was that dynamic?
Um, Shoot, it's crazy, man. Everybody in my family a little different, especially my siblings. They kind of more laid back. I was like the energetic bunch of the group. When I came out, it was like the little spring. Um, I'm more of the I guess I could say I'm up before everybody. I always been that kid, up before everybody, waking everybody up, just moving around. And they gravitate towards me. So yeah, that's about it.
That's awesome. Kind of tell me a little bit about your high school career. How did that go for you?
Creekside, it was crazy. Creekside was an amazing program. They elevated me on and off the field, academically, and on the field. I started off thinking I was going to play wide receiver. My coach ended up saying, "You're gonna play linebacker. Come play linebacker." And I just took the opportunity. I learned from it. Of course, it wasn't easy going from offense to defense, trying to make that transformation. But I feel like it went smooth just because I had the determination and dedication to keep working and just keep putting myself out there and learning and being able to learn and be a student of the game and just understand the personnels and just taking each little talk I got from my coach and using that to fuel me and learn and just going out there myself and doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you see others doing it and you like, oh, it's easy. But when you get out there doing it and you putting all the late night training sessions in, the training sessions where it's just you by yourself and you're really trying to get it down pat. Um, I feel like that's just a growth aspect. I feel like it helped me as a player. The coaches, man, especially my linebacker coach, Coach Rev. Coach Haywood, who was there, they poured into me a lot at the linebacker position, just getting my technique better, getting me fundamentally sound, being able to just step in the leadership role. I could play for the younger guys up there. And man, we had a dog school, man. Creekside, one of them ones. If y'all don't know, Creekside, one of them ones. We just went 15-0 last year. And them boys just won a state championship. My junior year we went to state, and then my senior year we made it to the fourth round. So it was a really good school, really good stepping stool for me. It just set the standard because we played the top of the line. Like Creeside, if you don't know nothing about Creeside, man, we play tough, physical, violent, and man, we play the best of the best. We ain't scared to play whoever. We played Modern Day my junior year. We played Warner Robins. If y'all don't know, Warner Robins one of them ones.
Yeah,
Play East St. Louis my sophomore year. We didn't play teams out of New Jersey, North Carolina. So I done played the best of the best. So
yeah.
I'm prepared.
Do you ever feel like in high school you was ever underlooked?
Of course, I feel like my size coaches underlooked me. They didn't see my talent. I feel like my speed is a good attribute, so I feel like that's what helped me stand out a little bit. But I was always told I didn't have the size or I didn't have the name a lot because I feel like in Georgia it's a lot about the name. The name holds a lot of weight. But I feel like I'm living testament, I'm living proof of anybody can do it no matter where you play at. You know what I'm saying? I'm here now. I came here as a walk-on. And freshman year, played as a true freshman, got my feet wet, man, and kept grinding, kept playing. And now to going into my sophomore year, I'm one of those guys, one of those dudes that they're looking to just produce and be one of those role playing guys on the team to just help my team.
That's awesome. Let's take a couple steps back. Kind of talk to me a little bit about your recruitment, like your recruiting era in high school.
Um, my recruitment started off pretty slow. I say towards my sophomore, going to my junior year, especially my junior year, I thought I was probably gonna get some more guys looking at me. I know I talked to Auburn a little bit when I went to the camp. I shined over there. I talked to Auburn. I know I talked to Oregon a little bit. They all talked to me, but they didn't really give me the chance to get an offer. It was pretty slow. I talked to a couple HBCUs. I talked to A&M. They had ended up offering me. North Carolina Central was heavy on me. Shaw University. Alabama State had looked at me when the old defensive coordinator was here, but he had ended up leaving. I talked to a lot of schools in the SWAC. I talked to FAMU a little bit as well. Um, and a lot of stuff ended up happening towards the end of my recruitment, toward my senior year. College coaches, especially North Carolina Central, I thought I was gonna commit there, which is crazy, because the whole coaching staff, I was getting ready to go on the OV. They would send up OV and all type of stuff like that, but what ended up happening was the whole coaching staff ended up, I think, getting fired or leaving. So that just changed the whole trajectory for me when I was finna commit. And it was unfortunate. A lot of coaches ended up leaving or they got new job opportunities. So it left me, just out. And I was like, all right, man, I just got to go get it. If you really want it, you know what I'm saying? You got to go get what you want and don't let nobody stop that. So, delay, just not decline.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's a punchline right there. Kind of tell me throughout that journey, like you know what I mean. Like even like obviously I play college football. It's like what was like your mental space like within that?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. It probably was one of the hardest, if not the hardest moment of my life. Um, just being able to stay down in that rough patch, in that storm. I talk about it a lot, especially in my FCA group, which is our fellowship group with Christian athletes. Man, just being able to stay down and be humble in that storm and just know, all right, it's a tough time, but we're gonna get through it. Yeah, it was a dark spot. I feel like just knowing you didn't put your all into something and putting all that effort and all that grinding, all those late night film sessions, just trying to understand and calculate what this team is doing when they doing it, knowing the tendencies, and just knowing and feeling like you haven't achieved the goal, and you see all your brothers, especially sign today. Seeing all your brothers sign and you're not able to sign, it kind of was like, dang, like this is a day, as an athlete, that signing day is something you always dream about, and just not being able to participate in that. I feel like it was a crazy moment, but I feel like towards that summer, going into that summer, I just had my head down, and it made me way hungrier. Cause it's like, okay, now I gotta go get it for real. Now I gotta go take it. Like now I'm at that point where I gotta go take it, and I gotta go show everybody why I'm here, why I deserve to be here, and what I'm playing for sure.
That's awesome. And you said that you were an FCA. What do you think God was telling you in that moment? That God was
Yeah, so that's a good question. FCA has taught me so much, but I feel like God was telling me, man, like if you think about, we was talking about it probably 2 3 weeks ago. We were talking about how you can lose it all, right? And you won't know why you're losing it until you gain it all back tenfold. So I lost it all. I lost all the offers. I didn't have no offer. A couple of JUCOs wanted to hit me up. Um, which they were pretty far. I ain't gonna lie, and I ain't want to go that far out. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna walk on, just take a chance. And I lost it all. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk on. I don't know what to expect, but I know when I get there, I'm gonna make an impact. And seeing it now, I feel like God just said, be patient. Be patient for the things that are going to come. You might be in this season of doubt and stress and anxiety, but just trust him through that process, man. And just keep having faith with those works. Keep working, keep working, keep working, keep working. Cause it's gonna pay off. And now I'm in a position to where I'm getting my school paid for. I'm able to just be able to play ball, without any worries on tuition or um anything of that nature, man. And it's just a blessing being able to play that leadership role for my guys at a young age, especially going into my sophomore year. It's amazing.
That's awesome, man. One thing when you were talking, it was making me think when a person that was stripped of everything. Who's that sound like? That sound like Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Sound like Joe, man in the arena. And
Mhm.
like I always use that because it's like if we were stripped of everything, well, we continue to believe in God.
Exactly.
And the trials and tribulations, and God knew that he knew he was a chosen one.
Hmm.
Because all God told the devil was just don't kill him.
Exactly.
Stripped of everything. And what your story is a resemblance of him.
Hmm.
And for I'll be a senior next year. From you having that perspective that you do now, that hunger I can see in your eyes and the passion the way you talk, like keep that, bro. Like don't lose that because you're already 10 steps ahead of me from when I was a freshman. I'll be a senior next year.
Yeah.
So the leadership role that you can play now for your team is so critical. But
Hmm.
more importantly, how can you correlate your faith and put faith first? And
Exactly.
you also kind of said it in a sense of kind of like the thing, control what you can control, and the things you can't control, you always leave that into God's hands.
Hmm.
Because the more you stress about something that you can't control, what you're doing now,
Yeah.
the things you can control, you're just spacing out. Now I got to worry about this. I'm like, no. And
Yeah.
your story, your journey so far, and as a sophomore, is like, man, like you got to continue to keep sharing that, but also continue to share that faith side. More
Hmm.
importantly, kind of tell me how was it being a true freshman?
Uh, so crazy story. When I got here, probably when we got into fall camp, it was like for me coming, especially playing at Creekside, I already knew I was prepared. Especially that whole summer, I worked my butt off. Going into fall camp, I'm just like, man, these guys are ahead of me. Like they have the playbook, because spring sets the tone for the fall. You have the whole playbook. All these early enrollees, they have the playbook. They have they have the body. They've been working out with the team and stuff like that. So you kind of are way behind in what you usually think. And I just was like, all right, man. Like I know what I've been working on. Like I know I did this in high school. I played against the top guys in the nation. I know I can do it anywhere else. So when I got there in fall camp, I just man, they seen what I could do. I just balled at a high level. I didn't know the plays. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know what the coverage calls was because they wasn't saying cover three. They was calling all different type of names. I'm like, what is this? All I know is I know my keys. If I'm playing Will, I'm reading two. If I'm playing Mike, I'm reading three. You know what I'm saying? So I stuck to my fundamentals. And I flew around, man. Our coach always says if you don't know nothing, move at 110% speed and just go hit some, man. So that's what I did. I made an impact. Um, and then going into the season, first game I didn't play UAB. I'm like, all right, God, just give me a chance. And this is crazy too. So we played Southern University. So when we played Southern, probably second, third quarter, third, fourth quarter, It was a huddle. It was right before a TV break. I'm getting anxious. He like, Blakey, come on. It was on kickoff. I'm like, all right, bet it's time to make my mark. Like, it's time. So what was crazy was as soon as we were finna go out, they called a TV break. So right when they called that TV break, they all talking in the huddle. My spirit just told me, man, pray to God. Just talk to God. I was like, God, just give me the unwavering faith and the courage to just go do my job and just go make an impact. As soon as I got out there, made a play, made a big hit on kickoff, and ever since then, I just kept making plays. Like I always pray before every game. I always talk to God. I talk to God probably 2 to 3 times before the game starts, and then even more as the game increasingly goes. Um, and I just kept making plays. Like every game, I'm just making plays. I'm like it's getting scary. Like I'm like, all right, cool. Like I know I can do this now. Especially like as a kid, especially like as a walk on coming on this college, you think a lot of older guys, you think like, dang, I'm playing with grown men. But I put it into this perspective like God's covering me. Whatever I already know, whatever stage I'm walking into, I'm already knowing I'm protected. So that helped me a lot as a true freshman, just having God with me. And having a lot of older guys, especially to just play that role, like Jaleel Lenore, number 33, Rudy, number 8. Having those guys, Grant DeGraffery, who just stepped into that leadership role to just help me understand the playbook and just be a better athlete. Like they taught me a lot of the game, especially in college football, and that just helped me being able to make plays on all core four special teams and on the field when they let me in, and just being able to maximize every opportunity and play it to the fullest. So yeah, it's
That's
pretty good.
awesome. Did you ever feel pressure at the time being a true freshman? Like, what was some of the challenges you can say I can consider that pressure? But what
Yeah.
was the pressure feeling like as a true freshman? And
Uh,
it's a walk on too.
yeah.
Don't I'm not gonna leave that out. That's also
Yeah.
pressure too. Like
Yeah.
you got to, you know what I'm saying? It's not like
Yeah.
guys with scholarship. You got to work 10 times harder
Yeah.
and be earlier than everybody else. So
Huh?
kind of tell a little bit about that.
Yeah. So as a walk on, especially like that's a big point. Like that's a big emphasis. As a walk on, you don't have trial and error to mess up. You have to know what you're doing at all times. The coaches have to trust you because you're a walk on. Like not to say it in the worst way, but you're exchangeable. You can be replaced. You know, everybody can be replaced, but you, especially as labeled as a walk on, you can be replaced. So you have to be on your P's and Q's. You have to make sure you're passing classes. You're taking care of your classes every week. You need to make sure of that. And you know, I'm the first in college. I'm the first out of my family to go to college. So it was kind of new to me. Like I didn't have no guidelines. I didn't have nobody telling me. I just was like, all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do school, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna make sure I got everything on top. I had a schedule every day of the things I had to do. And in the morning, we wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, especially as a freshman, you have to be there early to get tape. So knowing the plays, that's a big point. Knowing the plays, especially because of fall camp, I didn't know the plays. So when we got into the season, I kind of had to reverbiage and know all of that and just lock it in my head and load it up. So I had those older guys, man, to just help me. They definitely helped me. Like when I didn't know something, I immediately asked them. In practices, you know, you're a walk on, so you kind of have to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, if you see somebody else mess up, that's for everybody to learn. So I feel like you just have to be locked in, man. And just you gonna mess up, but just try to limit it as much as you can. Don't think about it. Just play ball. Just have fun at the end of the day.
Of course, you said something that like kind of like sparked something in me, and you
Mm-hmm.
said that I had to learn it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's accountability that you took in because it was like there's no guidelines from you, right? You're in college, there's nobody to hold your hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the biggest key of why you became a true freshman and in the position you are in now in
Mm-hmm.
life is because you took that accountability. So that's credit right there for yourself because you stepped up when
Yeah.
nobody else was there. You did that. So don't let nobody ever take that away from you. What was your mental health like through that journey?
Like anything in life, man, it was ups and downs. In the beginning it was I was really high on that roller coaster, you know, just because I'm like, all right, I'm playing, I'm balling, I'm able to, class is really good, you know, and then towards that middle of the season you kind of start feeling that deterioration mentally just because it's a lot of fatigue. Like you got to wake up for practice every day. You might get one off day, which is Sunday, because you have a game on Saturday, come back on Sunday, and then Monday you have to reload. No, not forgive me. Monday is a break day, but Tuesday you have to reload. And that Monday you might have to lift or you might have class. So it's just like it's a constant, it's a constant emphasis on work. Like everything is work at this point. It's a job. So you have to wake up with the right mentality every day. And sometimes you're not gonna feel okay, and you have to just change your mindset and just be like, all right, I might be going through it right now, but I just got to flip that script and I got to keep going. I feel like you're going to have those days, but you just got to keep going, man, and pray. And you have to have a really really good support system. I feel like my mom, she pushed me through it all, man. I love her so much. Like those days when I was going through it, it was crazy because she'll just text me. She'll send me a random text. She texts me almost every day, even this to this day. God got you. I love you so much. She'll tell me how proud she is of me. And just knowing your why on those days, especially like knowing your why. Like, why am I here? Why am I pushing myself this hard? Especially when it's getting hard. I just feel like that's a really good focal point to know. Like you have to know you have to know your why and why you're doing those things for sure.
For sure. I think what you said is knowing your why is probably the most important thing for everybody. And
Hmm.
I feel like the thing that, like what you just kind of answered, it was just like, for me, my why was always God.
Hmm.
First, I thought my why was the things that were around me, but the whole time, my why was God because if God put me in the place I am now, that is my why.
Hmm.
Because my family couldn't do it for me, my friends, my
Hmm.
coaches, I had to do it for myself. But through me, God put that through me.
Exactly.
So that's the
Exactly.
biggest thing. Kind of, if for people that don't know you, kind of describe who you are as a person.
I'm a child of God first and foremost. That's always what I want everybody to know about myself. I'm a child of God. I'm not a perfect person of God, but I am a child of God. Um, I'm a calm, charismatic person. I'm very energetic. I'm about my business for sure. I'm family orientated. I love my family, big on family. And I'm determined. I have a lot of determination. Like I'm determined on whatever I set my mind to, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done, no matter how long it takes, how hard it is, what I have to go through to figure it out. I'm going to do it. So, yeah, that's just some little stuff about me for sure.
That's awesome. Kind of tell me a little bit about why you chose Bama State.
Okay. So I already had went on a visit going into my junior year for junior day, coming to Alabama State in the spring. And my linebacker coach, Coach Rev, he knew a lot of the coaches here, especially Coach Gresham, which is the defensive coordinator, which helped me out a lot. They knew each other prior to that, and they also line brothers. Well, not line brothers, but they're brothers through the Divine Nine. So he was just like, man, I got a dog here. And from there he talked to me, he chopped it up with me. He told me it wasn't gonna be like Coach Gresham, like one of those guys, man, our defensive coordinator. He told me it wasn't gonna be easy, but as long as I kept going and kept pushing, bro, I was gonna get through it. So um yeah.
That's awesome. And especially with that opportunity, I was a door
Mhm.
that's open. You just walked right in the door. At least they can say is no, right?
Yep, exactly.
Kind of tell me a little bit about your why.
Okay. My why is I feel like my why is bottomless. It's so many things. Family members who I always resonate with. My auntie, I lost my auntie to breast cancer. She always told me I was gonna be a star with football. Like she always kept me pushing. My auntie, I always mention her every chance I get, especially when I'm on the field. I always pray and just I know they watching me. Recently my uncle just passed. He was somebody really, really big in my life with football. Whenever I was having a problem mentally or whatever I was going through, I would go to Gwinnett in Georgia and go train with him, and he just helped me. He helped me figure out the game a lot. Like with college, going into college, he was always there with me every step of the way. He always came to almost every game he could. He just recently passed away from cancer during my spring. But just knowing they're with me, knowing God, like God has pushed me so much. He's been able to just help me on every journey I've been on. He's never vacated me. So just knowing I have those elements, especially my mom in that support system, knowing I have everybody looking at me, knowing I'm doing the right thing. So it's just like I can't stop. like I can. I have a little brother looking at me. I have siblings who are older than me looking at me. Just everybody kind of like, all right, you can do this. Like we backing you up. Just knowing. So that's a big why. It's bottomless.
It's awesome, man. Especially with you knowing that, how you mentioned your little brother and your older siblings. Like that's the most
Mhm.
important thing. I also want to say sorry for your loss.
I appreciate it.
Like I lost my godmom to cancer, so I
Mhm.
know it's not the easiest thing, especially. But with you being able to be vulnerable and upfront about that, that's
Mhm.
definitely something powerful because there's other people in this world, aren't going through what you're going through, but they're going through something similar
Exactly.
path. Kind of tell me a little bit about if you didn't have football in your life, what would life be like for you?
That's a good question. Cause like sports in general, like I'm a big sport guy. In high school I did track, I conditioned for track, I did wrestling and football. So right after football season, going into wrestling. So sports is a big part of my life. I done probably did almost every sport you could think of. If it wasn't sports, I'd be my own businessman doing what I'm doing now. Studying in business and financing. College was always definitely the goal, even since I was a kid. So it's never really changed up. But being my own businessman, owning LLCs, just being a person of myself, working for myself, not working for nobody else. So
I like that. Keep that mentality, especially. That's always
yeah.
important. With that, what is your piece? Like what are things you run to be able to make you happy or even kind of escape the football, the family, or just like what does that look like for you?
Okay, that's a good question. So FCA here is every Wednesday, so that's like my sermon. That's what gives me peace. Cut the phone off, and it's just like you're talking to people about people from all aspects of life. And what I always like to say is FCA always gives me a chance to connect with God. When it's two or more people in one room, God is present all the time. That's what I like to think about. So just being able to connect with like-minded people through Christ. And I always tell people like when you come to FCA, whatever the topic is about, somehow in life is going to correlate. It's always clicked every time for me. Every single time after that sermon or after whatever we've been talking about, it's always clicked for me. Which has been really good. And I say music. I like to listen to music a lot. Sometimes I play the PlayStation or I watch movies, but sometimes, well, half the time, 90% of the time, it's the game or just like learning the game. I have to stay around football a lot or working out. So that's a pretty big emphasis.
Yeah, of course. And the reason why I ask that is because I think it's always important for us athletes to kind of find an escape. Because for such a long time, like we've been doing this since we was kids. You know what I mean? So we've been doing it for a long time, and it's like, what are we good at? You know what I mean? Like, what are other things that we can do besides the thing that we love? How can we
Mhm.
find something else that we love?
Yeah.
And because at times football, it takes a lot from you. Like it
Mhm.
takes a lot mentally and physically. And it's important for you to find something outside of football because it's like you can't be around it. Like yes, it makes you happy. Yes, it's a very important part of your life, but you start to idolize it and it
Mhm.
starts to become a part of you, and that's your identity. How can we
Mhm.
get football and not become your identity, but part of you? If that
Mhm.
makes sense, like how can we like what things? How you want to be able to serve your community without being a football player?
Mhm.
For you, how's that? How are you going to be able to serve your community?
Okay, that's a really good question. So I've always been a helper. Like that's always been a part of my identity. And then um usually my mom, she always tries to do something to help out with the community since I was a kid. So like my mom works hospice, so she's dealing with a lot of people who are in pain and trying to transition. So sometimes I go up there and talk to the people and just put them in better spirits, you know. It's not always easy when you're transitioning. So I try to put them in better spirits. Down here we read to the kids, so I go read to the kids, read books to them, being around kids, giving kids gear if I can, um, being able to just contribute as a good person. I feel like being a good person is just gonna always carry, you know, because you have a dash between your name at the end of life. It's always a dash. What have you done? So what have you done to help others and just be a better contributor to life? So I feel like just being able to give back to my people as much as I can, being just a good person. I feel like I'm always willing to help or give out or just being a Swiss Army knife, being able to help in different parts of life. So whether it's advice or I can give you something, so I always do that. I try to give back as much as I can.
That's awesome. It's always impactful for you to start impacting community now and
Hmm.
build that consistency because it's like one day one of those kids are going to remember you. And then
Hmm.
what you think they're going to do when they get older, they're going to try to do the exact same thing. And I feel like, especially, our community as African American males, we look up to things that aren't good. Like we look at rap videos and having all the money. We look at like the internet, for example, as well. Like we have sometimes fixated, and those are facades. Like those aren't reality. You know what I mean? It's like how can we build our community up? How can we love one another, but also how can we be a real big brother? I don't know if you ever grew up with Big Brother, Big Sister
Yeah.
program. I hated it when I grew up. I hated it so much. But like I didn't realize how grateful I was to be part of that
Yeah.
because it not only helped me out stay out of trouble because I was bad as hell, but it also like helped them out because they had the responsibility. Because
Hmm.
when you're given a responsibility, like God gave us a responsibility,
Hmm.
just follow. God didn't ask us to do nothing. He said,
Hmm.
just follow me. And there's a commandments that we have to live by every single day. But the thing is, it's choice of free will. So we have
Hmm.
to choose to do that.
Every
But
day.
being nice is hard.
Hmm.
Being nice is very easy. I mean, being being mean, arrogant, that's hard
Hmm.
because it's like that's the easy part. You know what I mean? Because it's like you can just walk around be sappy all every single day, but it's like, hey, and you don't care. But how can you just smile and say hey to a person walking on your campus? Or you outside in your neighborhood. I know for a fact the neighborhood I live in, when I'm back home, not college, it's not the greatest area. So me smiling at them might, I don't know, they probably think I'm weird or something. But it's like but it's like now that I understand, like those are the little things that matter.
Hmm.
And I will never forget a story. Sorry to cut you off, but I want to tell you this quick story so then you can remember and you can leave this podcast or the interview. And you can remember that. A dude once said, he's like, I walked past somebody and I just had a simple conversation. I said hi to the person. We had a conversation for less than 5 minutes and it saved that person's life. So now just imagine you smiling at a person that's probably going through depression, that's probably don't want to live. You smiling at them make them feel like they're beautiful or make them feel like they're cared about or somebody really want to be nice to them. It doesn't matter. Like I know obviously as football players, we often like want to be around athletes. But it's like me, it's like how can I go say hi to a theater kid? You know,
Hmm.
we don't have anything in common, but what we do have in common is we're human beings.
Hmm.
Commonality. Kind of tell me about what would you tell your younger self?
Um, I probably tell my younger self, man, just keep going. Those trials and errors and what you went through, man, it's paying off now. So just stay down, man. Keep going for sure.
That's awesome. What are your goals for the next season, upcoming season?
Defensive player of the year, man. That's something I'm striving to do. All American, first team all conference linebacker. Just those are just a couple things. Just I'm ready to take it, man. I know the work I'm putting in is leading towards that every day. So yeah.
That's awesome. We're obviously going trickling it down now. Kind of talk a little bit and tell your family back home how much you care about them. Send a message back home to them.
Man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for everything y'all been doing for me, continuing to just push me every day and being somebody I can lean on when the times get rough.
That's awesome, man. I'll make sure I send that to you as well. Is there anything you also want to leave off on?
Um, Shout out Unmasked Athletes, man. Y'all just giving everybody a voice. Shout out those older guys who helped me out coming in college. Shout out Jaleel. Shout out Mitchell, one of my teammates. Coach Gresh for giving me a chance. Shout out Alabama State for sure.
That's awesome, man. I'm blessed. I'm thankful to have you on the podcast because it means a lot, especially you're younger. So it's like hearing your perspective about your journey so far. And I'm excited to continue to watch. I'm going to tune in. I'm going to have a game. You're going to have a game on the exact same day. I'm going to make sure I'm like, hey, let me check my guy's stats real quick. You feel me?
Yeah.
But, for me, the short time, amount of time, obviously I don't know you that well, but from this conversation and the text message, I can say that I'm proud of you. You're going to be something special. You already is something special. and always, you already know, I don't got to tell you, but always keep God first. And remember, He always get the glory. And no matter what, you keep pushing and you keep striding, but also make sure you protect your mental health. That's the number one thing right now. And it's always okay to take one step back, but when we start taking three steps backwards, that's a bad thing. Just take a step back and sometimes to breathe. That's my biggest advice. But again, I want to thank you for you to come on and be able to tell your story, man. So I'm happy. Big shout out to our sponsors as well for making this happen. Keep bringing athletes on and be able to tell their stories. Super important, especially for the work that I do. I couldn't be more blessed for you guys to be able to give me the opportunity and platform to help continue to share stories like this. So thank you guys.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for just having me, bro.